Hello, a few weeks ago I made a video about PNG's compression format, and 3 weeks ago I made a video about JPEG's compression format. Both of those are raster formats, but today I'll be talking about SVG, a vector format. See how this is really blocky? This is how PNG and JPEG looks like when you zoom in really far. And see how this one is smooth? This is how SVG looks like when you zoom in. How does SVG make it stay smooth? So instead of storing pixels like PNG or JPEG does, SVG stores instructions. This line right here is a line I took from an SVG image. What does this all mean? Ellipse means it draws an ellipse. CX and CY sets the center position. RX and RY controls the size. Style defines things like color and outline. If I edit the style tag, the circle is now red. Once you put that all together, the ellipse can be drawn. Of course, there's a lot more than just one element. There's more than 100. Here's some examples. Script. JavaScript code inside an SVG. Linear gradient and radial gradient. Generates a gradient and a radial gradient. Animate creates an animation for any element's tags. And G, a group. Now file size. This SVG image with 11 circles is 2.3 kilobytes, while the same exact image as a PNG is 22.1 kilobytes, and PNG is 21 kilobytes. For complex images, like photos, it struggles. This flower as a JPEG is under 1 megabyte. As a PNG, it's 12 megabytes, but as an SVG, it's 38. SVG is smaller because one instruction can replace thousands of pixels. But SVG does use compression. Sometimes. A .svg file means no compression. A .svgz file means it does use compression, the same compression as gzip. Here's my explanation of gzip's compression from last video. First, LZ77. The idea is to find repeated patterns in the data. For example, if you have this, instead of storing it again and again, we can say, go back 2 pixels and repeat that 3 times. So instead of storing the data itself, we store references to earlier data. This works really well because after filtering, similar patterns show up a lot. Second, Huffman coding. Some values appear more often than others. So instead of giving each value the same size, we use shorter codes for common values and longer codes for rare ones. This reduces the total file size even more. That's SVG. Bye.